Right, swiftly moving on to other international things, and let's quickly preview the England versus Zimbabwe test. And it's been a while since we've seen test cricket. This time, not all 5 days, but 4 days in Trent Bridge. And the biggest question is, can Zimbabwe live up to the billing? They've not started the tour well, Akshay. They lost a county game to Dan Mousley's side, and it also featured Jafar Chauhan, who scored 56 for the bat. But all eyes will be in Muzarabani, all eyes will be in Gary Balance. What's the fascinating subplot for you with England Zimbabwe this week?
I mean, subplots would be a bit of a stretch. I don't know to what extent will I be able to follow it given everything that's going on in terms of the IPL and whatnot. But I would be keeping a keen eye on the bowling attack, and now, of course, pressing Muzarabani in particular. Unka batting bhi meko dekhna because of the way they played against Bangladesh. If you remember the test win, of course, they chased a total down in the 4th innings, that to win Bangladesh. I know Muzarabani won the player of the match, but the fact that the batters were also able to grind it out, they did come across, thoda maine sirf highlights dekha tha, clips idhar udhar. They came across as being those very old school, grind it out kind of batters, not from the baseball era clearly. So it's going to be very interesting. It's two extremely opposite ends of the spectrum, so to say, that'll collide on the 22nd. So I'm excited to see that. Of course, it's not going to be easy, man. I don't think they faced, anything like this, the caliber of the English bowlers, the movement and everything. I know it might not be a full-strength bowling attack, but happy to see Zimbabwe, sort of climb up the ladder of Test cricket. There's this fantastic interview on Cricket. I know they might be our competitors, but please do read that interview where the Zimbabwe Cricket Board was also spoken to. They are playing 11 tests, the most that they've ever played in this millennium, and the most for any side this year. Like, they're playing more than India, England, and joint highest with Australia. The fact that they're getting to play the likes of South Africa, England, New Zealand, Bangladesh, and Pakistan potentially even later on this year in the same calendar year speaks volumes of what Zimbabwe is now trying to do, with especially the disbursement that's coming their way. They've actively tried to improve their domestic setup. They've come up with a domestic season once again, a domestic tournament featuring 5 national teams. So happy to see that the groundwork is being is sort of being focused upon, and hopefully they will bear the fruits of it in the future.
Okay, Nikhil, what about your thoughts about this test series? Yeah, because Akshay mentioned it over there. Another team playing 11 tests this year is England. They have 5 against India, the 5 against Australia in the Ashes later, and this one precursor for the summer. Baseball really has to live up to the reputation, because last year, I remember on One MNL, we actually said the demise of baseball at Rajkot. We put up a silly graphic as well. This year, Ben Stokes has come out in a recent interview saying, we want to be remembered by the way we play. And I'm desperate. He said desperate is a word to prove the world wrong. So do you think it's a new beginning for baseball 2.0, the real baseball in 2025?
If only we had a penny every time the England team said ki this is a new beginning.
I don't know. They are the save as New England 1, save as New England 2. I don't know how many versions of them are already out there in the market. But I think that is, invariably, if I think about it very holistically, I think that is going to be the biggest challenge for Zimbabwe. That how do you play to a different pace of the game that England wants you to play? They make you they force you into mistakes which you feel that you have to be better prepared. I know a lot of people gave Pat Cummins a lot of flack for having a deep point. There was a captain in 2011 who had a deep point, and he was also people are after him ki bhai deep point kyun rakha. But if there are things that you want to see, I'll just want Zimbabwe to be very clear that this is how we will play. It doesn't matter how England wants to play, because if they play to their pace of the game, they'll be okay. And I'm not saying they'll go on and beat England. May they do, because that is for the greater good. But if Zimbabwe feel that we can bat at the way England can, I don't want Brian Bennett, Wesley Madhavare to think that we can bat like Harry Brook. Koi zarat nahi. You just play to your game, to your strength, and then we see, because Zimbabwe have enough people who played a lot of cricket. There is Sean Williams, there is Sikandar Raza, enough people who can guide the likes of Madhavare. And again, Madhavare played a key part in their Bangladesh win as well. He's a guy with a spunk. Again, Brian Bennett, we saw him against India also. So there are people who will take the attack to England. I just hope it's a very smart and strategic game, because we are yet to see how the deck will be. So that is also something that is very interesting.
Yeah, some good names in that Zimbabwe team. I mean, the third Curran, Ben Curran's part of the Zimbabwe setup. They've got a former England player who is, of course, born in Zimbabwe, Gary Balance, who's part of the coaching setup. So he might share a trick or two. Sikandar Raza, always loved around the world for what he does in T20 cricket. Big litmus test for Zimbabwe, where they are in the test curriculum. Cricket!